Welcome to Which is Best, presented by Code 3 Games. Today, we are going to talk about the PC race of the Tabaxi. Which is best, the legacy version or the new version from Monsters of the Multiverse? DM Aaron here with Sam and Manny. Today, we're going to talk about the player race of the Tabaxi. Manny, take it away.
So starting off with the lore, and they seem to be following the same trend with all the PC races and some of the monsters too. A lot more lore in the legacy version, 6 paragraphs of lore, and then a whole table of quirks and obsessions for the Tabaxi in legacy. In Monsters of the Multiverse, it's just 2 paragraphs. So if you want to know more about the Tabaxi, read the legacy version. Starting off with some of the first changes. Well, not really a change. It's labeled as a humanoid now, like most other PC races. And like a lot of other PC races too, you can choose between medium or small now for the Tabaxi. Here's a big change too. Its walking speed is 30 feet, and its climbing speed is now 30 feet in Monsters of the Multiverse, where in Legacy, it was part of the Cat's Claws ability, which was 20 feet of climbing speed. Now in Monsters of the Multiverse, that Cat's Claws ability is just an unarmed strike for 1d6 plus strength modifier slashing damage. In the Legacy, it was 1d4 plus strength modifier. Cat's talent, I believe, stays the same: proficiency in perception and stealth, dark vision for 60 feet for both of them, and feline agility, basically to double your speed in one turn of combat, stays the same too. So not many changes. I would say really Monsters of the Multiverse takes it just by a little bit, just for the extra climbing speed and the extra damage for the claws. But the claw damage boost is a little arbitrary getting into higher levels. So tiny little point for the Monsters of the Multiverse just for that extra speed. What do you guys think?
Sam?
Oh yeah, I 100% agree. Having any type of extra movement, whether it be climbing or swim speed, I think is like really helpful for any type of race in general. Just because I know in our campaign that we played long term, we started in an aquatic setting and no one had swim speeds. So when you really are like half your movement underwater and stuff, you really like hit with that I can do nothing, and then you're surrounded by all these creatures that are swimming around you at like full speeds, like you can't catch me, so it's like very very detrimental to your character if you don't have a swim speed for those aquatics. So in same thing with a climb, you can be very smart and interesting with how you use that. But yeah, extra, it sounds like, as you said, they didn't really add much else other than they just kind of improved some things by a little bit. So I would definitely agree that it just barely edges it out. But once again, we'll always see with natural weapons, it's good at first, but of course as a campaign goes on, unless you're a monk, use any unarmed strike ain't going to get any better. So yeah, I definitely agree with what you're saying.
And kind of like the Aarakocra that we talked about, the same issues with where movement trumps this minor other stuff that they've changed, and so I agree. Climbing is a little harder to. I know climbing is at least very specific in when that's going to be usable. I don't know if I've ever had a full combat take place on a cliffside where climbing speed is that crucial. Usually it's within a combat map and you are trying to get to a certain other part of the combat map, or in an RP setting when you're doing some kind of skill challenge where the speed isn't as crucial as some of the other abilities are. But I would agree that the boost to speed is what brings it up against some of this other minor changes. So, sounds like we're all in pretty much agreement, but let's have our final vote. So we have the Legacy version, Monsters of the Multiverse. In 3, 2, 1. Monsters of the Multiverse it is. All right.
Hair.
Thanks for watching, everybody. We'll see you on the next one.
Or by a whisker.